Okay. Hello, everyone. Hi. Welcome to Marriage Culture TV. I am Athelene, also known as Queen Athelene, and this is my very good friend, partner, co-host, Nikki O. Hey,
Hi,
Nikki.
everyone. Hi, Athelene.
How are you?
Doing great.
We are actually joining via Zoom. With the COVID-19 pandemic, we weren't able to meet in person. However, what better way than Zoom? So, as I mentioned before, the name of our channel is Marriage Culture TV, and this is just a brief introduction of our channel, and we have some very good stuff coming up for you. So, quickly before I go into anything, just want to give you a little backdrop of what we are and what we're about. As we know, marriage is a beautiful relationship. It's a gift from God. It's designed by God. He's the ultimate designer's original. And so we should live according to how He designed it, right? What is different about us is that our marriages has a little spin on it. Marriage in itself can be challenging. It's an institution, actually. So you're always learning and growing. And the difference with ours is that there's a cultural mix that's thrown into the dynamics, which
That's right.
spicy. It makes it interesting. It makes it sometimes a little challenging.
Yes.
Really, our channel is about how we navigate our intercultural marriage. And before I go on, because I can talk forever, I will let Nikki have a little piece to say. Hey, Nick.
Okay. Hi again, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Like Athelene said, we just decided to, with everything that's going on, and something that we've been talking about, praying about, planning that, hey,
Planning.
the time that we really needed to just come out and start our channel. So, like she said, the name in itself speaks for itself. But
Mhm.
this is where we see the union of marriage and then culture intercepting. And that's the reason for our unique name, which I'm sure you're going to grow to love anyway.
Yes.
Um,
Love it now.
like she said earlier, where we have so many things in common. First and foremost, it is our faith.
Yes.
And then secondly, you know, our marriage, and then to top it all off, it's our culture.
Yes.
So we have three different spins on our marriage culture TV,
Mhm.
and we're going to be talking about a lot of things such as, you know, um, our commitment, in this union of marriage, how do we deal with honesty and trust? How do we deal with time? How do we deal with being selfless or being selfish? How humble are we? How does the word
Mhm.
of humility comes in to play with, you know, island girls
Yes. Island girls.
and being Christians and faithfulness, sexual faithfulness. What's our definition of love? How do we view love? How do we view being committed? Because at its core, love is what most marriages or every marriage should be based on.
Yes.
Um, so this is just an intro to us. There's so many other topics that we have lined up. Um, you might or you might not be seeing some really cool guest speakers maybe coming in and out.
See them. You see them.
We have a lot of things, a lot of ideas that we know will keep you interested, will keep you
Yes.
piqued. um, Things we also want to get your feedback, things that you think we should talk about, or how do you deal with certain things
Yeah.
in your relationship.
And are you married interculturally or in an intercultural relationship
I think
about
it's
to
so
enter into
common.
marriage? Yeah.
True. And I think it's so common now, and just see how we view ours, if it's similar to yours also. And that's basically most of where we're coming from. So I'll let Athelene take the floor again.
So yeah, absolutely. One of the things that Nikki and I were talking about earlier, and we have spoken about this, over the course of our friendship, and we've been friends for how long?
Some
How
years,
long?
because I'm still 25.
A very long time. Is that what were some of our drawbacks when we were thinking of entering into this marriage of someone from a totally different culture? Now, when you're getting married, you're marrying somebody that grew up in a totally different home with totally different ideals and, with regard to raising children and just the way they do things, foods, etc. When you introduce culture in that mix, it's a totally different dynamic, right? So we, as Nikki said, we are Jamaicans. We are married to men from an African continent, and that'll come soon as to where they're from. And we're living here in America. We've lived in America longer than, I guess, when we were in Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we're still island girls at the core. Yes, we're Christian and Christ is the center of us, but we are island girls. And what shaped our ideals, what shaped the way we look at marriage, a lot of that has to do with our culture. Now enter our husband's culture into that. It makes for a very interesting dynamic.
Very interesting.
A great one, but interesting.
Yeah.
And so we'll cover that in detail as we go along. But one of the things that we talked about, and Nikki, I wanted you to expand on this. I think we talked about doing that was, what were some of your drawbacks or fears entering into this marriage of a different culture?
I think, or I believe at the time when, I decided that, yes, I wanted to get married, was
to this person, to hubby.
Yes, my spouse was the fear, the communication part of our relationship, like sometimes Athelene and I will talk, and one of the things that we always talk about is just the way we communicate. The way we communicate as an island person is totally different from the way you would communicate here in the United States of America. And then, of course, now we're getting married and getting that part of the entanglement. I'm going to use that word. It's a new word out now. Is how do you communicate? You don't, the way I might communicate with Athelene is not the same way I'm going to communicate with my husband or with his family or with his culture. So it was a big thing for me trying to learn different things. And, you communication is a big part of every relationship, whether it's in the workplace, in your family, just dealing with someone in the community. And it was a big thing for me because I know it was also a big thing for my husband and his family. The way I might speak to someone who I just meet, regardless of who they are, but depending on the environment, it might not get an A+ with my husband's culture. And I knew that going in, and it was a big, very, very big thing for me. And it still is, and Athelene just put me on the spot. So I'm going to put her on the spot. That was one of your greatest, fear or, something that would make you think twice.
Yeah, mine, I had this concern of the family dynamics, right? So being an islander, being a Jamaican, we are very laid back. We are very easy to talk to, and we actually joke about a lot of things. Some things we probably shouldn't joke about. A Jamaican can find something about the death of a person to make light of, and it's not disrespectful, it's just who we are as a people.
Yeah.
And marrying from the African continent, they're usually a bit more reserved, stoic, and they have a lot of traditions which are nice, and a lot of ceremonial things about how they celebrate things, or certain things that they do. And so for my culture, it was totally different. And my fear was not so much how I would fit in, but how my husband would navigate being around my family members that were very friendly, that were very laid back, and that may crack a joke that he may find offensive. Jamaicans can be oh my gosh, Jesus, fill up the mouth, and you may think that,
look at it. You're talking about a very serious thing, and I'm already laughing.
Exactly, right? So, leading up to my wedding, and we'll talk about this much later, those concerns got greater and greater. Okay, my wedding was going to be representative of my husband's culture and mine. And when my husband's culture was being displayed, how would I didn't want my family to be left out or to feel left out, and
Right.
vice versa. So it was this marrying of the cultures and of our families that was of great concern to me. How would they talk? How would they interact? And all of that stuff. So I'll go into details further about that, but that was my biggest concern, was navigating the families and our different cultures, and making it work. And by God's grace, we are making it work. We have made it work this far, and we'll continue to make it work. So this is just a little sneak peek and a little snippet of what Marriage Culture TV will have for you in a nice silver platter. And we hope to serve it nicely the way you like it. We ask that you like, share, subscribe to our channel. If there are any questions that you have really about, maybe you're in an intercultural relationship entering into marriage, or, or have questions, just feel free to put it down in the comments below. If there's certain topics you want us to cover, like Nikki said earlier, put it in the comments below and we will certainly address it. But we want to thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Until next time. Bye.
And don't forget, this is the Marriage Culture TV channel. If you're married, you want to be a part of it. If you're from a different culture, you want to be a part of it. If you are our faith, you want to be a part of it. And if you know people who are not a part of any of these three, please feel free to, bring them along, drag them in, because guess what? They're going to find it just as interesting.
Yes, they will.
God bless, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.